Sneaker Gears? My name is Levi. Welcome to another episode of Performance Gears, where today we're looking at probably the best all-around shoe you can buy in the market, and that's the Harden Volume 3. Alright, so let me start off by saying, before we get to the review, that I did not have much expectation for the Harden Volume 3. Usually I release a preview or overview video talking about what the shoe is coming out with, if I'm excited, what to expect, and generally you guys like those videos because they do have higher views. I didn't do anything on the Harden because this shoe was really released without much fanfare. There's no prime knit to speak of. There's nothing fancy. There's no gimmicks on this shoe. I think the tag phrase was slowed down fast. Like, all right, good job, Nike, Adidas. The traction, they actually left their moon pattern traction they've been using the last 2 years, which I thought they would continue to evolve, and they went to herringbone. Like, oh man, alright, you guys got lazy on us. Okay, now herringbone works, so that wasn't a negative, but like, what are you going to review on that? Why would I say anything about it? Boost. Great, you've done Boost before. And in fact, this Boost looked a lot thinner. So what, you're giving us worse cushion than you did in the Volume 2? So I didn't have high expectation for these. I still wanted to get them. I love the Harden Volume 1. I have 5 pairs of those. The only negative I would say on the Harden Volume 1, for me, the traction, the little points, or I guess it would rub down quite a bit fast. So at least if it wasn't a clean court, you weren't getting as good a traction as when you initially bought the shoe. The Harden Volume 2, didn't really like it as much. I had to go from a size 12 to a size 13 just to get it on my foot, and that's because of this strap right here. And I really didn't like that they didn't have any premium material. So for me, this was a step back, even though the traction was better and the cushion was huge. In fact, it was probably a little bit too much cushion. So the Harden Volume 3, it was like, all right, what direction are they going? What are we going to expect? Well, Adidas 3 stripes. Alright, for the fit on this thing, I went with my true size 12. It is wide foot friendly. I have no idea what the Soul Brothers are talking about. I know when they tried it on, they said, oh, it's narrow in the forefoot. I don't know how the sizes run, so when he gets a size 8 or 7.5, I don't know how that works. For me, the size 12 is a perfect true to size, plenty of width. This is not a prime knit, but it's some kind of woven knit. You can kind of look in here, all the sparkles. But it works. It moves with your foot. It flexes incredibly well. That little strap, again, I don't know if they're using a different strap or a different length depending on the size, or if using the same one to save money. But at least on a size 12, this definitely has some give. I felt this really holding my forefoot. It was a very similar feeling to that same leather strap across the top here. If you wore this and then you wore the lifestyle version, you could really feel the difference in containment and how it helped with those step backs and those jabs. So this actually did a very similar feeling for performance, but obviously they didn't have to use a big piece of leather, so it's lighter, more effective. It works. Now, as far as the materials, they actually did put raw leather on the back with the heel and on the pull tab. So the areas that you're touching, you're getting a nice feel in the hands. I don't know if they're going to do leather or suede and other ones, but when you put this on, it feels nice just in your hands. When you slip it in, it feels nice with that material just working and giving with your foot. When you move around, it just feels awesome. The fit is fantastic on these. You can go true to size. It is wide foot friendly. Even the lacing, guys, they did a burrito style tongue on this guy, which I actually liked, helped with lockdown. Didn't like the laces, that had some issues. They did a booty style or sock style construction for this. So Harden always wants to be different and unique. A regular tongue. Nothing special about this. It works. Like, you're able to loosen it up, so if you have a high instep, you're good. If you need to tighten it up here, down there, you can get a fit that just works for you. So as simple as it is, like, good job, Adidas. This is fantastic. All right, going down the support, again, there's not much. On this clear sole, you can clearly see the X torsion bar that they use, X torsion system. Add some rigidity, some flexibility to this. You have a heel cup that doesn't go too far high out here, but something I didn't even notice through the pictures, and some of the guys out there in Twitter world, Instagram, were like, oh, I hate how high this is. You know what? When you're wearing this does feel closer to a mid-stop on your Achilles, or a mid-top, and it does aid to having a shoe that is a little bit higher than what it is, but obviously that full flexibility. But this is a low top. This is a low top shoe. Can't say anything about it. The only shoe Nike did with the Harden logo were these guys. I'm not even going to pretend to remember Harden the Hyper Chase or something. Harden, going back to pretty much all his shoes, has really liked low tops. And this is right up his alley. So this is definitely a low top, and this is the only aspect of the shoe I can see someone saying, I don't want to wear this. And to you, I would say, get an ankle brace, get the Adidas Speed Wrap, because this shoe is phenomenal. But support-wise, the only piece of containment you have on the Boost is right here on the lateral portion where you would do those step backs, where you would do any lateral motion. Everything else is completely free, and they've tuned it to such a way where it feels great. You don't have that huge, you can't even see it there, outside boost like this had, where you see how wide the boost was. It just felt very heavy, kind of clunky on the two. This, they've trimmed it down. You still have a very flat base, wide front forefoot. I mean, the support is simple, but it works. You have a heel cup, you have a shank plate, you always feel secure in this. Any motion you do, defense, hard stops, running, it keeps up with you. All right, the cushion. This is, to me, and I would love to hear from you guys out there, the best implementation of Boost I have ever felt. And what I mean by that is, you guys can say the Ultra Boost, blah, 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 blah. The Ultra Boost, to me, is actually really bouncy, very unstable, and although very comfortable. You have something like the Harden Volume 2, that was just too much. I thought one of the best implementations of Boost before this was the Crazy Explosive 2016. So not the 17, but that was almost too much for people. The tuning of this Boost to not have any containment, so you get the raw feeling of Boost where it's not encaged, and then the fact that they made it thin but not too thin, you feel the bounce, but you feel the court. It is an amazing compromise. If you're looking for the lightest, quickest shoe, you have the Kobe 360. If you're looking for the best court feel, I would say, something like the Kyrie 4, and there's some other ones out there. If you're looking for the most cushion, you have the LeBron 16. If you're looking for just a sweet spot, just completely honest with everyone out there, this shoe is amazing. I want to hear from other people is if they say this is too much cushion or they don't have enough court feel, but I felt like Adidas has tuned this just right for a lot of players, a lot of styles. No matter who you are, you're gonna be able to put the shoe on and really enjoy it. If we had a graph where you have cushion and you have feeling dead, you had court feel and bounciness, I mean, this is just right in the middle of every aspect. It just does it so well. If you're looking for any type of cushion, you're gonna find something you like in the Harden Volume 3. Traction! Like I said, they went away, we can pull this here, from their Crater Moon style traction to Harden Volume 1 and 2. Now, this initially was done based on his steps and, they analyze and blah, 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 blah. This year they went to herringbone. You guys can take a look here. Now, this is the clear traction also. So as a general rule of thumb, clear traction, I think, holds on to a lot of dust. It's not quite as good. So I was holding reservation for this just because, hey, let me get one of the solid tractions before I say anything. But these things are awesome. Like, this traction is phenomenal. It is hard, hard-ish compared to a lot of other shoes out there. It is just grips. I don't know if it's this compound. I'm going to get a solid traction one as well to talk about it. But on a dusty court, I have some comparison pictures, hopefully I can put up, between like the same court where I wore the Puma Disruptor and these, and you would not even see dust on these. And the Disruptor like picked up everything. So, and it wasn't really fair for the Disruptor when I have, the Kobe 360 in my bag, and I have these in my bag, and then I keep the LeBron 16s. It wasn't fair for the Disruptor. But when you're talking about some of the lightest shoe, the most cushioned shoe, whatever shoe you bring is up to a hard task to get your attention and to feel good. And this was it. This almost became the shoe I wanted to wear. Where this is the first time I put the LeBron 16s on, I felt like, maybe that is too much cushion. And I haven't felt that in a long time. This is the first time I put this on where I felt a little bit more stability than the Kobe 360. And I don't feel the 360s are unstable. I mean, that's my go-to shoe I keep in my bag. But this just does so much so well, and it is so simple. Just wrapping it up, the Harden Volume 3 to me is kind of like a beautifully done omelet. So I don't know if you guys know anything about the cooking world or culinary. An omelet is something anybody can do. You crack a few eggs, and there's even the expression, you got to crack a few eggs to make an omelet. Anybody can do an omelet, but to have a beautifully done omelet where the ingredients are just right, where you have farm fresh eggs, where you use maybe a Gruyere cheese, you use fresh herbs and spices in it, where you whip it enough where it actually has, or you whisk it, air in it, where it's fluffy, use a nice heavy cream. All the ingredients make a difference, even though it's such a simple dish. You get an omelet, and you're like, really? This is all I got? But when you go to a high-end restaurant and you taste it, it's like, wow, that's delicious. That's the Harden Volume 3. There is nothing special to the shoe. We've had shoes with Boost. We've had shoes with herringbone. We've had shoes with this kind of upper where it's not prime knit, it's not fly knit. It just works. I mean, you have shoes that have everything that this has, but this is just so perfectly executed in such a simple manner. The only issue I have with this shoe, and after playing with it, I don't have that issue, is the price. So you have some of the shoes going for $160, I'm not sure why, and you have this colorway going for $140. That is a little bit on the higher end, but I can tell you based on the performance, based on how it feels on foot, based on every aspect, it's worth it. You know what? Last year for 2017, the best Adidas basketball shoe was actually the Crazy Explosive, which was kind of weird. It wasn't their signature shoes, not their D-Rose, not the Dame. For 2018, I know the BYWX is probably their best performer, but that is heavily leaning towards the side of court feel, although it had a nice compromise. After wearing the Hardens, it might be a better shoe. I'm going to have a comparison on that soon. I'm going to be playing both of those tonight. So kind of getting a feel for, okay, which one do I like better? But it is an awesome shoe that's just so well done. If you're looking at the shoe and you're not impressed, don't worry, you shouldn't be. There's not a marketing hype behind this. There's not a lot of tech behind this shoe with, BattleKnit 2.0, max zoom, boost you wear flexibility. It's a simple shoe where everything is done perfectly. The engineers at Adidas, kudos to you guys. This is so well done. Harden, whatever input you have, obviously as MVP, it made a difference. Like, these shoes are phenomenal. Guys, I can't really say enough about this shoe. And if you're wondering, oh man, every shoe you say is great. No, every shoe has its purpose. Like I said, if you're looking for a lighter shoe, you have the Kobe 360. If you're looking for a high cushion shoe, you have the LeBron 16. If you're looking for something that's right in the middle, where it's just something you can buy no matter what. If you're buying a shoe for somebody, you don't know what they like, you cannot do better, and you cannot have something as beautifully balanced as the Harden Volume 3. Ladies and gentlemen, if you liked that video, please give it a thumbs up. Really appreciate you guys. If you're not following me already, please subscribe down below. Hit the little bell button so you can see when the new videos come out. You can follow us on Instagram, on Twitter. If you have any questions or comments, please put them down below, and I do my best to try to respond. For its new videos, any questions you have, I am happy to respond and give you guys the best information I can. As always, I really appreciate you guys. This is Levi with Sneaker Gears, and I'll come at you later.